I'm Zaishmbeen, and dear students, in this video you will find out the solved important question from the novel Goodbye Mr. Chips, which is written by James Hilton. This is part 2. Let's start. Question number 1. What were Mr. Chips feeling after Linford's departure? Answer. The way Linford said goodbye to Mr. Chips reminded him of the day of his wedding. Catherine used the same words, mocking him gently. Suddenly, tears began to roll down his cheeks. He had a sort of emotional breakdown. Question number 2. How did Mr. Chips serve his guests? Answer. Mr. Chips entertained his guests with tea and walnut cake. Question number 3. What was the opinion of Mr. Chips about the views of Ibsen and Bernard Shaw? Answer. Mr. Chips was an orthodox and traditional loving fellow. He did not like innovations which were taking place. Ibsen and Bernard Shaw were radical writers. Mr. Chips disliked their ideas as he was conservative. He opposed their writings and views. Question number 4. Which rights did Catherine demand for women? Answer. Catherine Bridges was a modern girl. She had radical ideas. She warmly supported women's right for vote and their admission in universities. She was in favor of women's active participation in all walks of life. Question number 5. Why was the marriage of Mr. Chips a triumphant? Means great success. Answer. Mr. Chips' marriage was a great success. Catherine conquered Brookfield as he conquered his heart. She made a remarkable and positive change in Mr. Chips. She made him a new man and broadened his views and ideas. Question number 6. How did the people come to know that Ralston had insulted Mr. Chips? Answer. Mr. Chips was a popular teacher in the school. Mr. Ralston was a new headmaster. He was a modern and active man. He wanted to make the school modern. He did not like Mr. Chips. One day he asked Mr. Chips to get retirement, but Mr. Chips refused to retire. A boy standing outside the office heard their dialogues. He told to his friends, and the news spread like a wildfire. Question number 7. Why was big hall of Brookfield turned into a hospital ward? Answer. During his farewell speech, Mr. Chips told that once German measles broke out on a large scale, many students fell victim to this dreadful disease. The big hall of the school was looking like a hospital ward. Question number 8. Describe the health problems of Chatteris. Answer. Once during the war, he paid a visit to Mr. Chips at his residence. He was worried and looked ill. He was suffering from diabetes. Question number 9. How did Mr. Chips keep the boys normal during the air raid? और ये क्वेश्चन इस तरह भी आ सकता है कि how did Mr. Chips manage to keep the students attentive during the air raid? Answer. During the air raid, due to the sounds of guns and anti-air shells, the boys were nervous. Mr. Chips did not get frightened. He kept the boys busy so that they might not lose courage. Maynard was the boy who was fearless. He read loudly the page 40 of the book when Mr. Chips ordered him. Question number 10. What do you know about Faulkner? Answer. Faulkner was one of the little boys at the Brookfield. He met Mr. Chips outside the school on the day when Catherine died. In fact, he wanted to get permission from Mr. Chips to go to the station to meet his parents. Question number 11. How did Mr. Chips' housemastership prove useful after the death of his wife? Answer. After Catherine's death, Mr. Chips planned to leave housemastership. The headmaster persuaded him not to give up. So the housemastership after the death of Catherine kept him busy. Question number 12. What do you know about Meldrum? Answer. Mr. Meldrum was the successor of Weatherby. Successor कहते हैं बाद में आने वाला, ये नहीं. Mr. Weatherby was the principal of Brookfield School, तो उनके बाद जो है ज्वाइन किया Mr. Meldrum ने. He was the headmaster of Brookfield. He remained in his office for 30 years. In 1900, he suddenly died of pneumonia. Question number 13. What status did Brookfield School enjoy during Ralston's stay there? Answer. During his stay, the status of Brookfield improved. Though the staff remained under constant pressure, there was a long waiting list of the boys who wanted to get admission at Brookfield. Question number 14. What were political ideas of Catherine? Answer. Catherine had very revolutionary ideas. In politics, she liked the ideas of William Morris and Bernard Shaw. She read and admired Ibsen, a very radical writer. Question number 15. How much popular was Catherine at Brookfield School? Answer. Catherine was very popular at Brookfield, with the boys and masters alike. Even the wives of masters at first felt jealous of her, but soon admired her charming personality. Question number 16. Why did Linford remember Mr. Chip's death? Answer. Linford remembered Mr. Chip's death because he was the person who said goodbye to Mr. Chips the night before his death. Question number 17. What was Chip's status at Brookfield at 50 and at 60? Answer. Mr. Chip's status at Brookfield at 50 was the doyen of the staff, and at 60 he was made the guest of honor at old Brookfieldian dinners and the Court of Appeal in all matters affecting Brookfield. Question number 18. Why was the spring of 1896 important for Mr. Chips? Answer. Mr. Chips, along with his friend Rawdon, went to the Lake District in the vacation. They stayed at a farmhouse. Rawdon had to come back to London due to some emergency. Chips was alone there. One day he met Catherine, and this meeting led them to marry. Question number 19. Who were Boers? What did Chips think about the Boers? Answer. The Boers were the early European settlers of South Africa. The British wanted to expel them from South Africa. Chips did not like this British attitude. Question number 20. Who was Sir John Rivers? Or what did the chairman of the governors tell Chips about his retirement? Or why and how did John Rivers favor Mr. Chips? Or how did John Rivers behave after Mr. Chips' row with Ralston? बेटा ये आपको स्टूडेंट्स किसी भी तरह से ये आपको जो मैंने काफ़ी क्वेश्चंस जो ये मैंने पॉइंट आउट किए हैं आपसे मैंने डिस्कस किए इनमें से कोई भी क्वेश्चन आएगा तो इसका आंसर सेम होगा. लिसन टू द आंसर. Sir John Rivers was the chairman of Board of Governors. He was an old student of Mr. Chips. On his visit to Brookfield, he ignored Ralston and went straight to Mr. Chips. He openly supported him. He said that Board of Governors liked him to stay as the Brookfield would never be the same without him. Question number 21. When and why did Ralston leave Brookfield? Answer. In 1911, Ralston left Brookfield because he was defeated in the row with Mr. Chips. So he preferred to leave Brookfield and join some better school. Question number 22. What is risole? What joke did Chips make about it? Answer. Risole is a fried meat cake in school menu. It was served on Monday. Chips called it abhorrendum. It was called Chips' fresh joke. Question number 23. What did Chips do before sleeping? Answer. Before sleeping, Chips wound up the clock, put the wire guard in front of the fire, and turned out the gas. He rarely read more than a page of the novel before he slept. Question number 24. Why did Catherine begin to like Mr. Chips? Answer. Catherine began to like Mr. Chips because he had gentle manners. She liked him for his honesty and honest views. She also liked him for his brown charming eyes. Question number 25. What type of April foolery did Mr. Chips have to face? Answer. The students, wrote letters to Mr. Chips on 1st April. That day Catherine had just died, so Chips was out of mind. When he opened the letters, nothing had been written on the pages. Question number 26. How did Chips perform his duties as acting head of Brookfield? Answer. Mr. Chips sat in the headmaster's office every morning and handled problems and dealt with complaints and requests. He became very kind, gentle, and confident. Question number 27. How did Ralston look? Who was Ralston? Answer. Ralston was a modern man of 37. He was efficient, ruthless, and ambitious. Ralston was a live wire and a fine power transmitter. Question number 28. What do you know about Burrow? Or who was Burrow? Answer. Burrow was a pale, lean, and medically unfit science master. He was nicknamed the Stink Merchant. Question number 29. Why did Linford come to see Chips? Answer. Linford was a new student in Brookfield. One afternoon he came to see Mr. Chips as the other boys of Brookfield had made fun of him by saying that Mr. Chips had summoned him. Question number 30. Who was punished by Mr. Chips in the first class at Brookfield? Answer. Colley was punished by Mr. Chips in his first class at Brookfield because he dropped the desk lid. Question number 31. Why did the boys at Brookfield begin to love Mr. Chips after his marriage? Answer. After marriage, Chips became kind without being soft. He began to understand the boys very well. He began to make little jokes, so the boys began to love him. Question number 32. What were Mr. Chips' views about war? Answer. Chips was against war. Chips said that it was a very vulgar way of killing people. Question number 33. What did Mr. Chips tell Gregson when he came to visit him? Answer. Gregson was an old student of Mr. Chips. Chips told Gregson that he remembers him as he was always late in everything. Chips said that perhaps he would be late in growing old like him. Question number 34. Why did Mr. Chips not marry till the age of 48? Answer. Mr. Chips did not marry till the age of 48 as he considered himself to be not eligible to marry a young and ambitious girl. He did not feel comfortable in the company of women. Question number 35. How did Chatter's die? Answer. Chatter's was suffering from diabetes. He fell seriously ill during the winter of 1917. Then he died in April 1917. Question number 36. Where had Mrs. Wickett gone on November afternoon in 1933? Answer. On November afternoon in 1933, Mrs. Wickett had gone to neighboring village to see her relatives. He said that he had asked the masters to change their pronunciation. All the masters changed their pronunciation except Chips. Question number 40. Why did children, means students, not grow in Chip's mind? Answer. Chip's student did not grow in Chip's mind. Their childhood faces were imprinted on his memory. Imprint का मतलब था नक्श हो जाना. Though they became successful young men in life, he always remembered them as children. Question number 41. What duty did the boys of Brookfield do during the general strike in 1926? Answer. During the general strike in 1926, the Brookfield boys loaded motor vans with foodstuff. Question number 42. Describe the building of Brookfield School. Answer. Brookfield School lay behind a line of ancient elms. It consisted of a group of 18th century buildings. It was established in the reign of Queen Elizabeth. In the reign of George I, the building was rebuilt and extended. Question number 43. What kind of books were read by Mr. Chips? Answer. Mr. Chips read the books of classical literature, history, and detective novels. Question number 44. When and where did Catherine and Chips get married? Answer. Catherine and Chips got married in 1896. Catherine had no parents, so she was married from the house of her aunt in London. Question number 45. Why was Grayson nervous? Answer. Grayson was nervous because he was thinking about the news of the sinking of the Titanic. His father was also in Titanic. Question number 46. What kind of gown did Chips wear? Answer. The gown of Mr. Chips was almost too tattered. Tattered का मतलब कटा पटा. To be held together. People talked about his gown to amuse themselves. Question number 47. Where did Chips go in 1913 and why? In 19, Chips had bronchitis and was off duty for nearly the whole of the winter term. In August 1913, Chips went for a cure of Wiesbaden. Thanks for watching. Please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe my channel.